work on this. Otherwise, I'm also saved as PDF. I'll be
better. It should work. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome also from us, our group. That's Sofia from Croatia. Sorry. From Serbia. Laura from England. Susie from and me, Paul from Germany. And our proposal, we gave the name Sigulda Square because the heart of our proposal is the idea that we've got two different Siguldas that have two different worlds, and the one is the Sigulda with the urbanized and cultural Sigulda, and the other one is the wilderness and forest Sigulda. And now we start directly into our idea. Here you see the place itself with the valley and the river, Sigulda 1, and the urbanized area, Sigulda 2.
I think all of them are probably going to come to the same conclusion that when we went to Sigulda, we realised that there's an undeniable beauty about the place. And if tourism is going to be the main kind of industry, then it is this kind of wilderness and this wild, beautiful nature that holds such a place where it can be enjoyed by all, if you can see. But it's kind of like we wanted to have, the reason tourists would come to Sigulda instead of Riga is because it has this comfort of a city, but it's still so close to this wilderness that you can feel within like a matter of minutes that you're disconnected from one to the other. So our focus is mainly on keeping that kind of difference and just enhancing what is already there in a way that can be enjoyed by everybody. And then about aims, which hopefully when we describe our different proposals will kind of come clear.
You will explain them later in these points.
Yeah.
But maybe you can just read them out.
So, we will point some of them out later, which we have we want to present for you. But in generally, it's to give the strong character Sigulda already has to the visitor, because it's in some parts it's a theoretical strong character which has to be inscenated to strengthen the city and the nature separately. As we heard now from the first proposal of the other group, which tried to mix it or find the urban part in the natural area, we see the strength of Sigulda in having these two strictly separated parts, make the connections through line of sight, so that the visitor who walks through the area sees the beautiness, he gets more opportunity to recognize and to enjoy the beautiness of the valley, to integrate the sites in the pathways, to invent the accessibility. What this means we will see later in our presentation. To create this accessibility primarily by visible, clear and charming entrances and paths, and keep the maintenance frequently. So, about the entrance.
entrance that we actually saw when we went out of the wood. And we wanted to actually define the entrance. We found out very interesting those two environments. One is urban, very urban, and the other one is very wild. So when you're in the wood, you feel like you are somewhere very far away from any sign of civilization, and after 10 minutes you're actually in the very urban environment. So those two spaces are so opposite to each other. We found it very interesting, and we wanted to define, we wanted to mentally prepares you that you are leaving from one place to another. It doesn't matter, are you living from wood to the open space, or you are actually going from the urban space to wild environment. And we made maybe a kind of opposite connection entrance that's warning you somehow that you're going to completely different spaces. Those two spaces, they're so opposite and different and so close to each other. So we wanted just to define our entrance.
Yeah, it's meant to be something very attractive. So you can be excited that you're moving from the urban to the rural, or the rural to the urban, rather than you've been in all this woodland and you step out and you're hit by this sewage rat and this smell and you're like, I'm in the urban. But it shouldn't be like that. Both should be celebrated.
Yeah. So we put some rocks.
But it's like a symbol. It's not necessarily what we'd have as the entrance.
Yeah.
Perhaps the people of Sigulda could come up with some kind of sculptures or something.
Doesn't have to be the rocks.
It's just that there's a threshold that you have to cross. Okay. The other thing was when we were walking through this path, there was kind of theory that I kind of got this from was the Kevin Lynch, and the fact that you should, when you're kind of entering a place, you should have this kind of denial and got the word now. Denial and like denial and reward.
Yes.
That's it. So you can be walking through and okay, you're hidden and you're kind of blinded from what's going on, but then suddenly you break out and there's this amazing view, and an architect doesn't have to do that. The nature can frame itself, and just simply by making a few kind of cuts in the landscape, it really can be very effective, and nature can just kind of frame itself for you.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe that idea of creating these cuts get maybe we thought we get troubles with this idea, but because creating cut means cut trees. So we've got this valley, which the greatness of this valley is the topography and the nature, and the topography rests, and we want to cut the trees. But if you imagine what changes at the situation, of course we will still have those kind of green wilderness. This will be small openings which we can cut free, which you cannot. If you don't know it, you cannot recognize them from the other part of the slope. So we have got the valley, in the middle we have got the river, and on the one hand, when we cut these, make these clear cuts to open the site, it's beautiful for the visitors. The danger is from the visitors of the other side, that they see these kind of holes in the slope. But as we are not intended to hold the whole the whole slope, but just on 3-4 specified places, which we will show later, you could not even notice these clear cuts from the other slope if you don't know it or see it on your map. So this is the map I showed before, with just two very important viewing points on this part of the slope. On the other parts, there in all this area is none. And we added now 3 clear cuts. One down there. When you arrive here from this path or from this path, you're nearly directly at the river and you don't see it at all.
Okay.
And we thought it's rather important that when you've reached the foot of the slope, that you see that you reach the aim, and you get the open view to the river in both sides. And same situation here. When you come down, this was the entrance we were showing at the beginning. You come down, that you see when you've reached the river. And as these 3 points we are supposing, as they are on top of the down of the, what to say,
On the
bottom of the slope, you may not see it as a whole from the other part of this, from the other side of the slope. And the second element you've probably noticed, that's changed in this view, is this path. And the sense of this path now Susie will present. Okay.
Yeah, so pimp our woodland even upper. We had a kind of a little bit maybe unrealistic idea to have a lifted pass, wooden pass, which would cross through the whole forest, or and this would go up on the level of the canopies. So it's a kind of top tree way. Yeah. So it would look like this kind of reference photo.
This was an example from Northumbria, England.
Yeah.
A very interesting
Just-
feature of one.
Yeah. So here we have now the 2 sides of the valley, and there is no pedestrian connection between them, and especially not accessible connection for older people and people with a wheelchair. So we had this idea to have all the way long. You can see here it goes down and then cross the river and then go up this lifted path, which has angles in it. And you have, it's a kind of playing with the views, so you have all the time different views. Sometimes you can you can see above the trees, but sometimes it goes a little bit more deep into the forest. And also it makes sometimes connection with the other side of the slope and also with the city. So it's you have all the time different views. So we thought it could be very interesting. Maybe it needs a lot of money, but it doesn't have to be created the whole of it. Maybe just a small part of the whole path would be also enough. And thank you.
Okay.